Dad!
This is Kevin F. Pope, the Pope's Perspective, and my 30 Days of Disney. And today we are talking about Pollyanna, the story of a little girl in the turn of the century who moves to this small town where most of the people are they're not happy. They're very sour. They don't have the best outlook on life. And Pollyanna, she's always happy. She's always finding reasons to be glad. She has this game that her father taught her called the Glad Game, so that when things are hard or it makes life easier and you find reasons to be glad. Now, this is a movie that I've grown up with since my childhood. This is a movie that my mother watched a lot, and so I saw Pollyanna a lot. And this film has had a positive effect on me because the message of this story is to look for the good in the world. Look for the good in people. And that's exactly what Pollyanna does. The movie starts, Pollyanna's an orphan. Her parents have died. She has been sent to go to live with her aunt. So, first off, she lost her parents. She lost her parents. She has to go live with this aunt that she has never met before and start life anew. And she still finds reasons to be happy. Okay? The other part of the story of this is that her aunt owns the whole town. Okay? She pretty much runs the town. And she's very particular on how things should be because she is a Harrington and Pollyanna is a Harrington. And she explains to Pollyanna that people expect the Harringtons to act a certain way, to dress a certain way, to be a certain way. And so there's and there's kind of a little bit of a rebellion on the town on Pollyanna against Pollyanna's aunt. Throughout the film, Pollyanna meets different people in the town, and all of them seem to have different reasons why they're unhappy. And Pollyanna comes in and she shows them, she just comes in with her happiness and her joy and her positive outlook. At the beginning, they're more annoyed with her and they kind of want to get rid of her, and they're like, no. It's like, oh, get out, no, blah, 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 blah. So, for example, there's one of my favorite characters, Mrs. Snow, okay, who is played by Agnes Moorehead, who, if any of you know classic television, also played Indora in Bewitched. Anyway, she's this woman that she's always at home, she's always sick in bed, and she is convinced that she is dying soon. And she's of the opinion that everybody in town is just waiting for her to die. But Pollyanna meets her, and Pollyanna doesn't want Mrs. Snow to die. And really, Mrs. Snow is not as sick as she seems. It's not so much that she really is sick, it's her mindset. Because as Pollyanna comes in, the effect that Pollyanna has on Mrs. Snow, and she starts to realize it's like, you ought to forget, Pollyanna tells her, you ought to forget about dying and be glad you're living. And it changes her. Everyone goes to church on Sunday, and you have the preacher in town, and he is the classic hailstorm and damnation. So we hear his sermon in church, and he gets up to the sermon, and he just starts, "Death comes unexpectedly," and it just goes into this very grim thing. It's like, we ought to be prepared for death. And the actor played it, and like, I don't remember all of the actors' names. There's too many of them. This film came out in 1960. There were a lot of big stars of the time in this film. Okay, so Disney did not always do that, or maybe they would have one or two main stars, but this film has a bunch. Like almost all of these people are like veteran actors, and they were very known at that time. So people would have recognized these actors, but even if you go into this film and you don't know who any of these actors are, it doesn't matter. It does not take it. You don't have to know who the actors are, but they are wonderful. They are all so good. But the real message is, it's like, look, I've taken the message of Pollyanna to heart. And you know what? Sometimes life is hard, and sometimes life you can get really depressed in life. And I'll admit, I have my moments. I have the moments where I'm really down. But overall, from day to day, I always try to find things to be happy about, things to be glad about. And you look for them, and they're always there. And that's something that Pollyanna taught me. And so this film is just, it's wonderful, and really, it's a message we need today. There's so much negative out there. There's so much, like, especially on the social media, and people are just posting opinion, and just how awful the world is and everything. And here's the thing, there's still good in the world. I truly believe there will always be good in the world if we look for it. I really believe that. And really, it's a better outlook on life. You go through life searching for the bad, for the negative, then you're going to be unhappy. You are going to be unhappy. I guarantee it if you do. But if you go out searching for the good, finding the good in the world, it will help your life become easier. It won't necessarily solve all your problems, but it is a better way of life. And that is the message of Pollyanna, and that is the Pope's perspective.